right, let's crack into it. Let's get our first speaker up here. He should need no introduction. Our esteemed leader, our inspiration, the director of the Outlook for Someday, Mr. David Jacobs.
Kia ora tātou. Kia ora to you, brilliant young filmmakers. Kia ora to you partners, supporters, ambassadors, judges and friends of the Outlook for Someday. Kia ora to you trustees of Connected Media, and kia ora to my colleagues in the Someday team, and to the regional coordinators who run our one-day sustainability filmmaking workshops. There were 33 of them this year, all around New Zealand. And kia ora to our families, including Izzy, who support us in the work we do to help young people to make change with film. And kia ora to you councillors and local board members of Auckland Council, and kia ora to our special guests, Tom Hearn and James Napier-Robertson, producer and director of the best New Zealand film I have ever seen. Thanks. Thanks, guys, for spending time this afternoon talking with the willing filmmakers. And yes, I know that's a lot of kia oras. And I have one more. There's a man here tonight without whom the Outlook for Someday might never have happened. Back in 2006, Morgan Williams backed Connected Media to come up with something filmic to mark the 20th anniversary of the Parliamentary Commissioner for the Environment. I know it took a leap of imagination on both of our parts to see that moment as an opportunity to launch a sustainability film challenge for young people. Where are you, Morgan? I want to thank you now, together with these young people who have risen to that challenge. And I'm sorry to embarrass you, dear man, but would you mind standing up so that we can all give you a big hand? I'm sure, Morgan, you recognise this bag from the 20th anniversary conference you organised when the idea of the Outlook for Someday was first presented. Now, my colleagues have witnessed me this week obsessing about what bag, faffing around, about what bag I would use for my traditional T-shirt reveal moment. And I know it's totally out of character for me to obsess about a detail, isn't it? And I went home yesterday with the bag question unresolved. But I also went home with an errand for Chris here on camera one to dig out a cable that we thought might be useful for today. And there it was, my trusty old cable bag. So let's move on, straight onto that tradition. Last year we had a blue T-shirt in honour of the strong theme of water running through the winning films. This year we see bees buzzing through the winning films. And so the T-shirt is yellow and black. Tonight is a night of celebration, and I don't want to dull that spirit, but I also need to acknowledge this year has been a challenging and often quite stressful one for the Outlook for Someday. We had changes in our team, and we moved our office, and we took hits in our expected funding, so we had to cancel some of the workshops we had planned, and we had to put even more time and energy than ever into fundraising, and it wasn't all successful. If anyone here tonight has ideas for how we can make this project sustainable financially, please do share them with us. What makes all the work we do worthwhile is seeing how the films get better and better every year, and seeing the evolution of the filmmakers. There are people here tonight who entered films in the film challenge that didn't win some years. They kept coming back, entering again, and they made better and better films. There are people here tonight who we see coming back, making better and better films. So, kia ora to that. We call you guys Someday Champions because you really are champions of your generation, contributing your talents to changing the world. Next year, each of your winning films will be entered into at least one international film festival. This year, 8 winning films from the Outlook for Someday Challenge, we now try to call it, received 12 nominations, between them in international festivals. Last year, Natasha Bishop, over there on camera 1, collected 2 awards at the Japan Wildlife Film Festival. And earlier this week, in recognition of her success, Natasha received a local hero medal, which she showed me today, as part of the New Zealander of the Year Awards. So yes, my biggest thank you is to you filmmakers. Through your films, you give rich meaning to the work we do running the project. And my equal biggest thank you is to the partners and supporters who make the Outlook for Someday possible. And so let's roll the closing titles, which will play each time a 2004 winning film from the Outlook for Someday is screened. And now, let's take the traditional closer look in reverse. Our project supporters donate and discount their products and services to the Outlook for Someday. NZ Camera Hire has helped with the cameras being used to film tonight's ceremony. Auckland hosts the website. The images from their films, which winning filmmakers will receive tonight, are printed on rock stock paper made from waste stone supplied by B&F Papers. And they have been framed by El Framo. The Levi stores, Eco Store, Safe Bottles and Defender bags contributed prizes for the winning filmmakers. And so did RO Video, Corporate Consumables and WWF New Zealand. Stephen Richardson from Pastel City designed the winners' t-shirts, which were printed by Carousel Screen Printing on stock from AS Colour. Orange Productions contributed the red carpet for tonight's ceremony. Hire Plants provided the trees out there in the foyer. Cara Scott James did the sound design for the opening and closing titles, and this year the soundscape that was playing just before the ceremony. And later on you can enjoy drinking Lothlorien organic juice. O'Halloran North Shore provides accountancy services to the project, and Stevens Lawyers contributes legal advice. Our industry partner is the Director and Editors Guilds of New Zealand. Our printed materials are printed by Benefits, and AUT is our tertiary partner. We're at this venue tonight thanks to Auckland Live, with food later on from Austin's and drinks from All Good. Thanks are due to our media partners for promoting the project and contributing to the prize package. Element Magazine, pick up a copy outside. Tearaway, Upstart, Viewfinder and Green Ideas magazine. And the 4:30 show, What Now, yours.net.nz and the coconut.tv. And here are the funding partners. A big thank you to the ASB Community Trust, the Trust Community Foundation and Creative New Zealand. And now we have the project partners who also support the project financially. We thank the Department of Conservation, Ministry of Youth Development, Te Puni Kokiri and Auckland Council. And we thank the EnviroSchools Foundation, UNESCO New Zealand and the Health Promotion Agency. Finally, our beloved key partner, the Body Shop, which has supported the Outlook for Someday since it was first conceived. We just wouldn't be here without the Body Shop. And I think that's something to bear in mind. when Christmas shopping. But for me, each year, Christmas is something I just don't start to think about until after the Someday Awards. And so tonight we celebrate the gifts bestowed upon us by this emerging generation of sustainability storytellers. Kia ora.